Work. Let's talk about the new trade deal with the European Union with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Mr. Secretary, thanks for the time.
Thanks. It's nice to be here. I just flew back from Scotland, and wow, was that deal. It's so amazing for America.
Why is it so great for America?
Well, remember, the European Union is $20 trillion economy, 450 million people. I mean, it is head and shoulders bigger than all the other Western civilizations. So the fact is the European Union is the monster deal. President Trump did that deal yesterday. We were all together in Scotland. We got the deal done. So here how it goes. The European Union is going to pay 15%, and they sell us $600 billion worth of goods. That's $90 billion for America, and they agreed for the first time ever to cut all their tariffs, cut their barriers, and let American businesses and farmers and ranchers and fishermen finally sell into the European Union. Massive market. This is huge for America.
So this 15% is on the difference, the $200 billion trade deficit, is that right? Not the $2 trillion we trade with each other, right?
No, it's all exports to America. So basically everything they send us is going to pay 15%, except for a few little things, but most things will be 15%. One of the examples that we don't charge is on aircraft parts, so that Boeing, which is our greatest export, doesn't have to pay tariffs. But those are the ideas. So huge $600 billion of exports from Europe coming into America. They'll pay 15%. The $400 billion we send them, finally, zero. So you're going to see that grow, and you're going to see that deficit shrink. And then they promise to pay $750 billion of energy purchases. Stop purchasing from adversaries. Start purchasing from the United States.
And the last part was the $600 billion. Is the EU guaranteeing there'll be an additional $600 billion in investments in the U.S.?
What they did is they corralled all their businesses and said, look, if we're going to lower our tariffs, the president was saying, if we're going to lower our tariffs, how do I know your businesses are going to invest? And the European Union put together all of their companies, their pharmaceutical companies, their auto companies, all their businesses who made commitments to the European Union that they could then give to President Trump and said, we are committed to building in America $600 billion of additional investment. That's on top of the $110 billion they invest a year on top of that. And this is just during President Trump's term. So it's huge investment coming in. So it was really a 1, 2, 3. Donald Trump, this is the greatest deal for America. It's good for the European Union because we're in the right track. We're friends. We're going to grow our businesses together. But for America, finally, we've righted the wrong of trade, and Donald Trump has led the way.
But if it's coming from private companies, obviously it can't be a part of a trade framework, but they're saying they're going to do it, right?
Yes, these were commitments of, basically they're going to build the factories, like all the car companies committed they're going to build the factories. The pharmaceutical companies have gone out and said they're going to build these factories. So they had made these commitments, and the European Union basically handed those commitments over to the president to show him the deep commitment of European companies to invest in America.
Yeah. So, Mr. Secretary, here's the deals you've done so far. We've got the United Kingdom, Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, Vietnam, and now the European Union. You may not be surprised to know that countries are reaching out to us to find out when their deal is going to get done. You know, South Korea, are they on track? Are they are jealous of Japan? Are they in the hopper?
Well, the South Koreans flew to Scotland to meet with me and Ambassador Greer after dinner. I mean, think of how much they really want to get a deal done. But the president is in the driver's seat now, right? He's done these big deals. He's got really all the cards in front of him. And as he said, he's going to decide what the tariff rate is, how much these countries are going to open their markets, and what the tariff rate is. And that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to he's going to consider a few deals. Of course he will. But basically what he's going to do is he's going to set the tariff rate for everybody and do that by the end of the week. And that is really extraordinary. The president has proven his tariff policies are exactly correct and they work.
And the U.S. tariffs coming in, revenue this year, $124.3 billion, 130.8% more than the same time last year, according to the stats. On the others, the big question is China, and there's reporting from South China Morning Post, the Washington Post as well, that there's going to be a 90-day kind of extension as our two nations talk in Geneva. Is that accurate?
Well, they're talking right now, but the decision maker, of course, is President Trump. I'm sure the people who are speaking with China are going to go discuss with President Trump how he wants to play it. He's got an excellent relationship with President Xi, and I think we'll leave that to Donald Trump to decide how he wants to do it. Is that a likely outcome? Sure, it seems that way, but let's leave it to President Trump to decide.
Is TikTok part of that deal?
TikTok, it's one of those things, it's an adjacency. It's not part of that transaction. But, when the president is talking to the people who are talking to the Chinese counterparties, it's going to come up. But I think they're separate but adjacent.
All right. So wrapping up here, you think some other deals are going to get done before Friday. It's possible.
I mean, they are all set up. The way I say it, my job is to set the table for the president, and he decides what to do. The table is set as far as the eye can see with countries who have offered us, complete access to their country, complete access, and some a little less, and some a little less. And the president's going to decide, look, this is how I want to play it. He may entertain a few more deals, or he may decide, you know what, I'm just going to set the policy going forward. But by the end of this week, they will all be set. They will all be in stone, and they will be written, and we will start collecting those additional monies. Right now, we're collecting 10% from everybody in the world, and, of course, a higher rate from China. But come next week, off we go.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, we appreciate the time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.